The FujiCast is an independent loading zone production.
Kev, are you feeling nervous?
What? I'm always feeling nervous when I'm speaking to you, Neil.
Well, it's only me.
You give me the heebie-jeebies.
No, I don't. Don't be daft. I know that you're going to be laid out. That sounds a bit ominous. And
Sounds like fun.
And they're going in. Dentist, Kev, dentist. That's what I'm talking about. Keep up with me.
I am going to spend the afternoon with the lady that's colloquially known in Malmesbury as the butcher from Bratislava.
No, not really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Steve Martin in A Little Shop of Horrors?
No, but I think I saw him down the co-op once.
No, no, surely not Steve Martin down your co-op. No, can't be.
I thought you meant Steve Martin, who plays for Malmesbury Vicks.
No, not that. No. Steve Martin, the movie star, who was in Little Shop of Horrors, and he plays the part of the dentist really, really well. He drives a big motorbike. He wears all leather. He's the kind of dentist you just don't want to meet. But you're making her sound a little bit like that.
She's all right. She's really nice. She's really pleasant. But yeah.
Do you have a television on your ceiling?
No.
Yeah, we do. We have in my dentist, there's a television on the ceiling. And you choose the channel you want to watch. If you're in there for a little while, it might be a bit of a film. Sounds like you're going to be in for a film. How long are you in there for then, Kev?
Couple of hours.
Couple of hours. Oh, you could probably, I don't know, you might be able to fit in Hunger Games in that time, if that's come to...
There's no telly on top of the ceiling in my NHS dentist, I can tell you.
Oh, clearly going to the wrong kind of dentist.
The FujiCast.
Well, Kev, I'll be thinking of you this afternoon while you're in dentist having your treatment. I go to NHS, by the way, as well. It's not like I think you get this feeling like I'm going to a different kind of dentist with TVs on the ceiling, Kev.
Well, you are. You're going to a dentist with TVs on the ceiling,
yeah,
aren't you?
but they're not that expensive to put TVs on ceilings. I'm sure. Have you seen the cars that are in the dentist car parks? There's no such thing as a poor dentist, is there? Ever?
Yeah, maybe. It's not a job I'd like to do, I have to say, even though I think they do very well. They do a good job for us.
Amazing job. Right, welcome to the FujiCast. You and your mails, your questions that you've sent in via Facebook or that you've sent in via click at fujicast.co.uk. We've had a few in of late, so thank you for those. I can't believe in a couple of weeks, Kev, when we do this, we'll literally be knocking on the door of Christmas. Kev. Can you believe it? 1 year. It's gone by so quickly.
Jingle bells, we've got an announcement for you.
Oh, we have, and that's a really nice segue into... Go on, Kev. We're teasing a little bit with this, though, aren't we?
Well, we've teased about it a bit over the last 12 months, I think, pretty much.
Okay, but the teasing's becoming even more of a tease.
Yeah, so I think we can now safely assume that our next FujiCast meetup is happening on the Saturday, 2nd of March 2024. It will be at the House of Photography, and it's going to be slightly different to the way we've done it before. So we're going to have some speakers, i.e. physical human speakers, rather than Neil's sound speakers.
So workshop sort of thing.
Yeah, workshop type stuff. Yeah. And there may or may not be some other nice stuff to look at the House of Photography around then. I don't know. However, I would say
got to put your thumb screws on you there, Kev. What may or may not be shown at the
I really have no idea, but I think timing wise it might be appropriate for people. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we've got the wonderful Mr. Whisper who's going to come along and do a talk.
We had him on the show, didn't we, last year? Yeah, Mr. Whisper.
We did have him on the show.
Amazing stuff.
One of the best street photographers of the modern generation.
Yep.
If you don't know Mr. Whisper, have a look at his Instagram channel as a starting point and everything else. Mr. Whisper. Yep. Bal, his real name is, lovely bloke. Emily Renier is also going to do an hour's talk for us. Neil is going to do a talk. What are you going to do your talk on, Neil?
Well, I've called it the marriage of sound and photographs because it's mainly about weddings and street, but weddings. So I thought it was quite clever, Kev. Marriage of sound and stills, maybe.
Yes,
I don't know.
You're very clever. I'll also do an hour's talk on probably, because I feel like everybody's seen all of my pictures. I'll show some pictures, but it will be mostly about business. Marketing, branding, that kind of stuff. So if you are a wedding photographer, street photographer, any kind of photographer really, and want to have a nice day with a whole load of other like-minded people at the Fujifilm House of Photography on the 2nd of March, we will be doing that. We will then also record a live show in the evening. There will be drinks and nibbles, and then we'll probably just go to the pub. Perfect. So we will, because there is a reasonable cost involved in this, there will be a fee. However, it's not huge. Nope. I don't think.
Well, not when you consider.
We're not going to tell people about it just yet.
But not when you consider, Kev, you've got Mr. Whisper. You've got Emily, her wedding business is flying. You've got you talking about business. I'm bringing up the rear of you, pardon the expression, talking about a workshop on sound and stills together. So if it's something, if you think in 2024, what's going to differentiate my business? There's loads of stuff, loads of ideas. So Kev, I think it's a snip, and I know what the snip is, and I'm not just talking about your teeth.
Yes, indeed, my teeth. And so, however, we will be offering our lovely patrons who have supported us all through, the last 2 years, I think patrons been going. If you're not a patron, by the way, you can also become a patron straight away for the price of a coffee, and that will give you early access to this, because we can only have 50 people. So we will be offering this up to our patrons from today for the next 2 weeks until the next show. Thereafter, we will likely, if there's any seats left, we will likely announce it.
And it's a special price for the patrons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you just say that? I don't know.
I didn't say that, but you said it, so that's fine. Okay. Between us, we said it.
So there we go.
In summary, 2nd of March, 2024, at the Fujifilm House of Photography, a full day of talks from very, very established photographers in lots of different genres. Andreas, probably Andreas, will also be there to give chats and talks and all kinds of other stuff. You can touch and try all kinds of other things. Maybe even there will be free drinks.
Oh, I wonder what you're going to say then. Put the thumb screws on, and maybe there will even be ...
And it'll be fun. It'll be great. Those who have come to the events we've done before know that they're really good fun.
And then we go to Yates's.
O'Neill's we went to.
Oh, was it O'Neill's, not Yates's?
Yeah. I don't think we can go there this time because it was too loud.
I know.
Hear anybody?
We've all become older, Kev. What was that you said? What was that? Oh, I can't hear. Say that again.
Yeah, we'll go to Wetherspoons on Leicester Square.
Well, is that going to help it, Kev? It's just as noisy in there.
Yeah, no music. Not in
Wetherspoons?
I'll bring my guitar. Yes, that's what we'll do.
Oh, I'll go to O'Neill's. So we're doing a Patreon pop-up show this week, and we'll have more details for you on the Patreon pop-up. Oh, yes, we will. I mentioned, too, for pick-time.com, who we'll get to questions in a moment, Kev. pick-time.com, who support us on this show. Now, of course, is a very important time. You're trying to make Christmas sales with your pictures. I would imagine there's various deadlines flying around now for those for the printers. Certainly, the album manufacturers. I reckon we're right on deadline now. So if you're selling your photographs in time for Christmas, pick time really important. What are you doing, Kev?
What, for Christmas?
No, for pick time for your sales.
Oh, well, I did they call them the holiday blast, if you like. So I did a blast. And I got some stuff. People buying prints for their husbands, wives, weddings that went on this year. So all of that kind of stuff is good, but the automation of it is the best part. You just press a button, it does the rest. It's amazing, pretty good. I've had a couple of portrait shoots this last couple of weeks, which I've used as client delivery. And so with my portrait shoots, what I do is I give them the fee for the shoot, and then I give them a discount voucher for prints. So, and they've, two of the three. So the third one's only just had their images sent to them, but the other two have ordered prints, which is nice. They'll go off to Digital Lab, who is the lab I have set up in my system, and they'll have them in time for Christmas.
Lovely. Go to pick-time.com, and then if you put in the word FujiCast, if you're joining, all uppercase, of course, then you get 1 month free. And it's what myself and Kev use, isn't it, Kev?
It is. It's what we actually pay for, and I know that because my fee went out yesterday.
Oh, I think mine.
It is. It's one of those. It's like Artlist and Pick Time and everything. You just never. I have a vague guess that it's at the end of the year, and then they both happen within about a week of each other.
But it's all right. You're making money out of it, Kev.
No problem with Pick Time. Artlist.
Well, no, you need Artlist.
I do need Artlist. Actually, Artlist is very, very good. It's
for your films.
Yes.
Right.
Which I've started doing more of. Now I've got my YouTube studio set up in the studio.
You're like a proper YouTuber
all
now.
Done.
Yeah.
I've got it all done. I've got a new desk, got a new standy-uppy, sitty-downy desk, got a new monitor.
Have you got one of those ones that you press a button and it goes bzzz, and it's ready? Yeah.
It's very good, actually. I
didn't see that. Why didn't I get that? I normally get all the... These days, my YouTube is populated with AFTV stuff. Whenever AFTV release something, I get it straight away, but I missed your one.
I know. I don't let Albie watch on my YouTube log on because it will be just cluttered with Arsenal. You're right.
Oh, no, but that's me. I choose to watch it. I love Robbie on AFTV, but I haven't seen your one, so I'm going to have to look it up. Kevin Mullins Photography. Right, while I'm looking up your YouTube channel to see your new
It's
setup.
my review of the Viltrox 27.
No, I didn't. I didn't get that one.
For you, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway,
there you
I did
are.
that before I had my studio set up, so it's not quite as clean.
It's not quite the same. All right.
But
the one 2 days ago, Fujifilm X-Trans 3 stunning black and white in seconds.
That's a short. That's my first ever short YouTube short.
How did you feel about making a short?
I felt like a hipster.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it was Albie that said, "You got to do shorts, Dad. That's what everybody watches." And I was like, "What's a short?" I didn't even know what a short was. And he had to show me, and I was like, "Well, do you make money from shorts?" And he said, "I don't know." So I looked into it, and the answer is no.
No, you don't know.
No.
You get more. You get more views, apparently.
Yeah. What I noticed was it did bring in a handful of subscribers instantly, which was then it's done its job for me. Yeah. And it took it like you can only be a minute long, and it took me maybe 8 minutes to make. So.
Go on, next, Kev. You're going to be making TikToks.
TikToks.
Yeah, you're going to be dancing to songs and stuff.
No.
I can't wait for that day.
No.
Should we do some questions? Right, Who's going first, you or me?
You.
I was dreading you were going to say that because I hadn't opened the right folder.
I'll go first then.
Go on then.
In time-honoured tradition, I will start with the latest question in the Facebook group, which was actually a week ago. So, get your questions in, peoples. Matt's Hatling Fernblad says, "Hi, I'm in a pretty cool situation where my workplace has bought a GFX 50S Mark II.
I would have worked for his company. Hang on a minute. Wow.
For showcasing and documentation purposes." Doesn't say what his company is, by the way. Most of the time it's available for me to play with, and so I have. And oh my, what a sensor. Only now my trouble is what I want for a lens that suits me better than the GF 3570 that they have. I'm used to the XF23 1.4 and the Viltrox 56 1.4, which I feel always gives me what I need. So, in short, I want a GFX version of either of these two, but it's too bloody expensive. Is there any way to get the glass worthy of a GFX without risking divorce? Any third-party lenses worth exploring? I'm after all of them, and I'm very pleased with my Viltrox lens.
Well, Kev, I think you're perfectly positioned for this because I think, I might have this wrong, but I believe you bought a GFX without Gemma knowing. I think that was one of the, it might have been a couple of years ago, but there was a box that turned up that Gemma knew nothing about.
Oh, there's been loads of those.
But it was that one in particular. I remember you hiding it from her.
I've got a box right here, in fact, with Gemma's Christmas present in.
Give us a clue what it might be.
I said to her the other day, "I've got your Christmas present." She's like, "Oh, bloody hell, I hate it when you do that because I don't. What do you want for Christmas?" And I say, "It's not for me to tell you what I want for Christmas. It's for you to identify things that I would like."
Oh, hang on a minute. Have you been off and been the perfect husband? And you've
I'm always perfect husband.
Have you had an idea, Kev? Ding.
Well, it's done now anyway. So there you go.
Tell me what it is, and I'll bleep it out.
No,
but I'll bleep it out. I promise.
No, you won't. You might.
No, I will.
Not.
No, I will.
Yeah.
Kev, I'm diligent with this stuff.
Okay, I've got one of those really big that go in one of those, and it's really nice. And then at the end, she can.
I'm sure she probably will.
Anyway, back to Matt's question.
That's a fortune, Kev. I can't believe. Have you won the lottery?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it is expensive though. Yeah. I love her very much.
I know you do. I know. Well, I just hope she's going to spend as much on you.
The kids ain't getting anything this year, though.
No, just coal. Go on then. What's he going to do about this GFX?
Christmas isn't for kids; it's for adults.
It's for adults.
Yeah. So you can get third party, but basically you need a GFX adapter. Now I have one, and it's made by a company called Fringer. Or it might be pronounced Fringer. I'm not sure.
Thought it was Fringer.
Fringer. I think it is.
I think it's Fringer.
Fringer. And they make a X-mount adapter that you can then use on legacy lenses.
Right.
So I have an old Minolta lens that's about 85mm that works with my little Fringer adapter on my GFX. The actual lens itself, I got on eBay for about 150 quid.
Right.
Obviously, it's manual focus though, so that's something you have to take into account.
So the Fringer thing that doesn't allow for autofocus. No.
As far as I'm aware, there isn't an AF version of it.
Right.
So it's not the adapter that does the autofocus anyway. I mean, it does pass the signal.
It's the linkage, isn't it? Yeah.
But my legacy lens is ancient. It's like a 1970s.
Oh, right. Okay.
Looks great. So that's your option. You're just going to have to research it really, but make sure you get the adapter first. You won't just, you're, as far as I'm aware, I think companies like Viltrox and with the others, Sigma and all those others do not make GFX third-party lenses, as far as I'm aware. No. Might be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, that's the case. Cool. So your only option is to go through an adapter, such as the Fringer, whatever it's called, and then you're pretty much free to use whatever you want. You'll obviously need to make sure you get an adapter that's X mount to whatever mount you're interested in, but they're there. You've got options. You do have options. Or just get divorced, Matt, and then buy whatever you want.
Don't take that last bit of advice, Matt.
Mats.
Sorry.
I reckon Mats is from, what do you reckon? Mats Hatling Fernblad, Norway? Lives in Randaberg.
Chingford, Essex.
Where's Randaberg?
I don't know.
Got to be Norway, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. We could look it up. The next one is actually a lens one as well, Kev. Look at this, almost planned. Veronica Barnes. Hi, guys. I have some birthday money. Oh, stand by. I've been wanting to get a small walk-around lens. I've always been interested in the original 18mm lens, but then there's the 16mm. F2, newer one, little one. Quick question. If you had some extra cash, sounds like Kev has, and had an XE2 or XT20, which lens would you get? The original 18mm pancake or the little 16mm F2, just based on the colour aesthetic and focal length? Which would you buy? I'm just looking for a walk-around lens for dog hikes, hanging around with family and friends, and a general throw in my bag. So a small form factor camera stroke lens combo. I don't need to make art, just photos of everyday stuff, the stuff that matters.
So I think the 16mm that she's referring to is the f2.8 lens.
Is it not the 2? No, it's not, is it? No.
There is, as far as I'm aware, there's no f2 lens in the 16. You've got the original 16mm f1.4 and then the 16mm f2.
Well, she did say actually that she had the 27mm original, loved the small pancake lens, but didn't like not having an aperture ring. And I share that with you. It didn't ever feel right.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably go for the new 16.
Would you?
Based on the circumstance here. Yeah.
I don't know how much extra cash she's got.
Well, I just looked at those. They are brand new. Those 16mm 2.8 lenses are £349 if you want a silver one, £339 if you want a black one.
If you're in the UK.
In the UK, yeah. That's from Wex, but I would imagine it's the same retails everywhere. Yeah. Pretty much. So,
gone are those days, actually.
That's a reasonable price, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I was going to say, gone are the days now where the dollar was that different to... It seems to be what you buy in pounds is what you buy in dollars now.
Welcome to Britain. Yeah. £349, you spend that much down the pub sometimes.
Yeah, well, it depends. If we're buying the round for all those people that are coming on the gig on the 2nd of March, maybe yes.
£8.50 a pint.
No,
I was at a pub the other day in London. £8.50.
I thought you were going to say Marm's.
I went out. I left. I was like, I ain't paying that.
I was up in Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, Kev, being voice of God for a particular thing. And I think they think it's the first time that it's ever happened when you turn up at these gigs and they put out a high seat for you. And just on the back it says, God. Almost like it's the first time anybody's made that joke. You know what a voice of God is, don't you? When your voice is, yeah. Anyway,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you're at a big conference and they need somebody. They give it to the person that's got a face for radio, i.e. me. That you're just this sort of voice off that nobody ever sees, but you hold the whole event together, kind of thing.
I'm not sure I'd be able to sit in a seat that said God on the back. I'd be a bolt of lightning would come from nowhere. Yeah. My old friend upstairs would say, "Who do you think you are?"
I know. I did remove the God sheet of paper. Anyway, I saw an amazing organist. What was his name? Guy called Ian Tracy. The organ in the Liverpool St George's Hall is like the third biggest in the country, and it's got when he plays the really low note, you actually feel it going through your tummy.
Yeah,
incredible.
I love listening to
they're amazing.
Like
Just incredible. Anyway, I can't remember where we were now with that, Kev.
So I would suggest the 16mm f2.8.
Yeah, I can't remember how we went from that to God, but there we go.
No idea, but there we go. 16mm 2.8, I think, is probably your best bet.
Yeah, there was a reason I was going down that road. Must be the cold weather. Anyways, love the podcast, says Veronica. Love that I can send in random questions and you guys answer back on your experiences, not just to sell something. Also, I've used the pick time trial, which we do say to sell you something, with your code. It's great. Thanks for that, says Veronica. Happy customer, Kev.
Happy customer indeed. Well done.
I'll try and think what I was trying. Well, there was what was the? Oh no, it was the beer, Kev. It was the beer. I was in Liverpool. That was the reason. And it's crept to £6.50, £7 a pint in Liverpool. And I thought, no, not here, Kev. Not in Liverpool. Surely not.
The meanderings of two middle-aged men moaning about beer prices.
There we go.
People are going to tune out.
It's a podcast. Kev. Next question.
Nanto Sealens says, "Hi boys, hoping you might be able to help me. I feel like something has gone haywire when importing images from my X100F into Lightroom.
Right.
I haven't changed any settings with import set to as shot with camera settings for the RAW files. I've included a side-by-side comparison of Capture One on the left and Lightroom on the right. The top images are the JPEG straight out of the camera and the bottom are the RAWs straight out of the camera. Capture One RAW is much closer to the JPEG and the Lightroom RAW is much cooler. Is there anything special I should be doing in Lightroom for the RAW to match closer to the JPEG? This only seems to affect the color images, with black and white images appearing to be closer match. Thanks in advice." So I have to look at these images now.
You've still got the F, haven't you?
It's nothing to do with the camera. This would be a Lightroom or Capture One settings thing. So I don't use Capture One, so I'm kind of making a few guesses here. But the Lightroom seems to be doing what it should be, which is it's bringing the JPEG in and it's bringing the RAW in. I'm guessing that the Lightroom is then applying auto white balance to your RAW file. It won't do that to your JPEG. And I think your Capture One is possibly applying white balance as shot rather than auto. That's what I think might be happening. So double check that. In Lightroom on the right hand side, you can just change white balance to as shot rather than auto, and it will probably be a lot closer to your JPEG.
Good luck.
Might not be anything to do with any of that as well.
No, in Kev we trust. Hashtag. Jeremy Baker. Did he come on your course the other day?
He did. I seen him last week. What a lovely man.
Yeah.
He was a little bit late.
Was he?
It's fine. Then he knocked over 3 cups of coffee.
Was he drunk?
Other than that, it was fine.
So he came in late. Excuse me, everybody. Excuse me. It's like when somebody arrives late at the cinema and they go along a lot. Excuse me. Oh, God, no. Excuse me. Oh, and they knock your popcorn out your hand. Then they sit down and he knocked 3 cups of coffee over.
He was very good.
You're not giving him
lovely review.
His marching orders. Go on, get it. Sling your hook. Come in here causing trouble.
He bought croissants. It was lovely. Yeah, very good.
Good. Right. Well, this one is for both of you, he says. Bit of background. There was a car magazine a while back. Oh, have you seen his Land Rover? Did he turn up in his fancy Land Rover?
Oh, I don't know. He might have done, but I've got no parking at the studio, so they will have to park elsewhere.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't. I have Land Rover envy when I see his car. Bit of background. There was a car magazine a while back that when interviewing well-known drivers and car-related people would always ask, what would you do with your last gallon of petrol? I.e., which car, which road, and so on and so forth. That's not his question, by the way, but do you want to answer that one? Just if you were in a car magazine, Kev, what would you do with your last gallon of petrol? Where would you go?
I'd sell it.
You'd sell the petrol?
If everybody only had 1 gallon left, I'd sell it.
Well, I don't think we're in.
No, we're not talking about like end of the world last gallon.
No, I don't think this is Armageddon.
Okay, then if I had the last gallon of petrol, what would I do with it? I'd drive to another petrol station.
Forever practical.
I'm not getting involved in this the way you want me to, am I?
Well, no, I just wonder where you'd go, who you'd see.
Well, it depends where you are when you find out you've only got 1 gallon left.
Well, that's true.
I could be in Japan, could be in New York, could
All
be
right.
if I'm in Malmesbury and I've got 1 gallon left.
Go see Gemma.
Price of petrol today will get me probably to the end of my road.
That's it. You can go buy a cup of coffee then, can't you?
I'll go down the co-op and have a chat with Steve Martin at the fruit and veg stand.
There we go. I went to your coffee shop, by the way, next to your house. I think we talked about that. They know you very well in Malmesbury. Everybody talks about you, Kev.
Do they know?
I was in there a couple of seconds and he told me all about you. I thought, should you be telling me all this stuff? Anyway, he says...
Michael Thomas Butchers.
Yeah.
Is that where you went?
Yeah. You want to be careful. He says a lot about you. Anyway, he says, similar question, though. It's your last roll of film or 36 images on a memory card. What would you capture, who or what, where and with what camera, and why is that important to you? Now, you could say it depends where I am. I might be in Japan. But let's just say you can be anywhere you like with this question, Kev. Who or what, where and with what camera? So let's do the who and what. I would imagine yours is going to be very similar to mine.
Yeah, probably, let's just say we're both at home, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be the family, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I would reach for my original X100, FinePix X100.
Ooh.
That's the one I'd reach for. I'd have to charge a battery, though. I'd have to dig out the old battery charger, all that kind of stuff.
Have you still got it?
Yeah.
You still got that?
Yeah. I've got about 40 of those batteries. Great.
But if you still
invested for life.
Can you find a charger?
Yeah, I got the chargers as well.
The battery was different in the original X100, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those little slippy ones.
Mine's very, very similar. The who or what would have to be that, I think. We'll get a couple of pictures of Barnes. Barney, get a picture of you.
No, I wouldn't bother with the dogs.
Why not?
No, they get on my nerves.
I don't think you have the same relationship with your dogs as I have with my Barnes, do you?
Yeah, my dog's older.
When was the last time you walked your dogs?
I haven't walked them in years.
What?
They go up the stables. They just go up the stable every day and run around for like 4 hours.
But don't you sort of take your camera out and go for a little wander, sort of you and the dog, sort of bonding? Don't you do any of that?
No, especially not with the Whippet, because literally by the time you get 2 doors down the road, it will have done 5 dumps.
Well, that's all right. It's all done. You can carry on with your walk.
No, I don't like it.
Tell me you don't leave it there, Kev.
No, I just don't go.
Whippets don't take a lot of walking, apparently.
No, they don't. They don't need a lot of walking. They need an injection of energy once a day, and then they sleep for the rest of the time like cats.
Do they really sleep all the time?
Yeah.
See, I feel a bit guilty because Barnes is down there now. He's just having a little doze, and I'm thinking, should I be entertaining him, Kev? Do I need to be entertaining him all day long?
No, because it's a dog. That's why they're called dogs.
That's what Sam says. So who or what? Yeah, it would be that. And I guess, mine would be an X100 as well. But I've not diligently kept my X100s as I've gone along. I've tended to sell them, Kev.
Did you have the original one?
I did.
And you've got rid of that?
Yeah. Why is that a bad thing?
I don't understand why people sold that brilliant camera.
Well, it wasn't a great camera, so I wasn't.
Brilliant camera. I mean, it wasn't fast.
No,
but the images out of it were absolutely beautiful.
Well, I suppose if somebody offered me it back now, I'd like to buy it. Bit like my old. I was offered the other day the Canon 5D. And I thought, my original Canon 5D, which had lovely. I don't know. Did you have the 5D, or did you go straight in with the 5D? I don't. No, in fact, you didn't have a 5, did you?
I did. I had a 5D Mark I,
which produced beautiful, creamy files. They were lovely.
Yeah, it was nice. It did create nice images.
I was offered my original one back, and I thought, that one I would. And I probably would with the X100. There's a couple of pictures I took with that X100, particularly at weddings, where I was very, very pleased. But no, I didn't. So I did go through them: the S, the T, the F, the V. So I would choose the X100V because it's my EDC, as the youth say now, Kev. Everyday, is that everyday camera or everyday carry?
I have no idea.
I think it's.
I literally have no idea.
It's too trendy, Kev. Too trendy.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Jeremy.
My world is too full of acronyms as it is.
Next time you go over to Chez Kev's, Kev will have locked the door, and certainly you'll not be allowed to drink coffee. Right, yours, Kev, yours.
Right, I've got a massive one here. Mm-hmm. So, and I haven't read it yet, so bear with.
Is this one of those questions that lasts for the rest of the show?
Might do. I don't know. It might be one of those ones that's really long to read out and the question at the end is short. Anyway, I better get on with it. Martin Pendry says, I am emailing you as I recently... Well, you're not emailing though, are you, Martin? You're putting it on Facebook. I'm emailing you, putting it on Facebook, as I recently attended a family wedding on the island of Ischia in the Bay of Naples. Oh. It was fancier than a cat in a tuxedo. You will recall from your last podcast saying that Italian weddings are a different ballgame. Yeah. Well, let me tell you, this family was serving looks like they were on a runway, not on an English wedding aisle. It was all high heels, metallic fabrics, and vibrant colours that made the Italian sunshine jealous. Oh. Coming from Norway, there's another Norway one today. Coming from Norway, where being fashionably late means arriving 10 minutes early and waiting not to be late, we strutted into the church on a cool 20 minutes before the ceremony. The place was decked out in flowers and tourists were wandering around appreciating the historical vibes. Yeah. Apart from the flowers, there was zero sign of a wedding about to go on. We waited outside, and just as we were starting to wonder if we got the time wrong, a convoy of cars honking like a parade of enthusiastic ducks rolled through, announcing the groom's grand entrance.
I love his writing.
My husband texted his sister, baffled as to the whereabouts of the rest of the family. 20 minutes fashionably late, the bride graced us with her presence to the symphony of honking horns in an open-top VW Beetle. Sounds great, doesn't it?
It does.
Now, he goes on to say, now, picture this. The ceremony kicks off, and I'm watching not one, not two, but a whole team of photographers and a videographer doing their thing. There's even someone wandering around snapping Instax pics like a wedding paparazzi Olympics. I couldn't help but chuckle, imagining both of your voices in my head. One photographer got so cozy with the priest that I swear, at one point, he was almost using the poor guy's shoulder as a makeshift tripod.
No.
Let's see if the wedding album turns into a spot the photographer challenge.
Yeah.
Right. Fast forward to the wedding breakfast, or whatever fancy Italian terms they have for it. We all got individual or couple close-ups with the bride and groom and group photos galore. Yeah. I lucked out and dragged my husband and his 5 out of 6 siblings for a family snapshot on the side.
That's the size of a family, blimey.
Attached is my photo showcasing how our stealthy photographer ninjaed in from behind the priest for that up-close and personal shot of the happy couple. Thank you for sharing your experiences of weddings, as it made me smile when I saw such a contrast at this family wedding.
Yeah.
Okay, so there isn't a question.
No.
Also, as it wasn't an email, it was posted on Facebook, there isn't an attached picture. So unless you got the email as well.
No, I'm looking down my list here. Can't see his name. No.
Nothing from Martin Pendry. No, right. Okay. Well, in that case, all I can say about that was it was a wonderful read. Very entertaining.
Yeah.
And I hope you had a lovely day.
Nice story. I know. I like stories like that.
It's pretty. I've done Italian weddings in the past, and they are like that. They are very, like they when they arrive in style.
Yeah.
And then it's just like full on.
Not very Italian though. Arriving in a Beetle, I want a fleet of Fiat 500s.
Yeah, Fiat 500s. Yeah,
soft top ones.
Yeah.
But I've never shot a wedding in Italy. Was yours on Lake Como? Probably was.
No, mine was in Rome.
Oh, very nice.
I've done one in Rome and one in then by the bottomy bit.
By the bottomy bit.
Yeah.
Near Sicily or?
No, not on the island.
No,
but down that end, near the heel.
Ah, very fancy.
In the sticky out bit somewhere.
No. Well, it is a very different way of working. Can you imagine that, Kev? If you were, see, on my contract, I have an I will be the only photographer clause. And that's not because I'm being Billy Big Boots or anything, but because I've always been a little bit nervous of attending an event where suddenly you become part of this massive crew of photographers. It just wouldn't work with the way that I work, and I know it wouldn't work with the way that you work. It would feel intensely awkward, wouldn't it? And I put that in because it did happen once to me, and I vowed never again. Because if they said to me, no, we one family's got that photographer, we've got that one, then that one's got a video. I just couldn't work like that. It would just be odd, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be difficult. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Right, you'll go.
Dragos Mandash. We've got some cracking names today, Kev.
Yeah, that is a cool name, isn't it?
I have been... Now, this is very... We could have had this... we could have slipped this one in next to the question you had about Capture One. Hi, Kev, Neil. I've been using C1 since 2017. I own 3 Fuji X100s. He's got the T, the F, and the V, together with the X100 conversion lenses. So he's got the WCL X100 and TCL. So one's the wide, one's the teleconverter, isn't it? I'd love it if one of the teleconverters, would this not be possible, Kev, could actually be more similar to the 56mm, because the wide angle adapter is similar to, I'm just thinking of full frame terms now, of 28mm. What would that be then? Anyway, but the longer throw doesn't get you to the 56 area, does it? What does that get you to? The TCL.
I'm sorry, I stopped listening. Sorry.
Help me out here, Kev.
I was playing a game of chess.
The TCL, Kev. What is the
TCL? What was the question?
Well, I'm not there yet, Kev. Stay with us at least. WCL and TCL. Yes, what are their focal length? What are the focal lengths of them when you screw them on? That's not the question, by the way. I'm just halfway through it.
I think the wide went down to 18 and the TCL went up to about 50-ish.
Oh, well, it wouldn't be that far to 56. I love it.
50, but 75 if you have the X100 with the internal tele conversion. Yeah. So you can have 75 stacked.
Until 2021 or so, Capture One used to correct for lens distortion for photos taken with the 2 conversion lenses attached to my X100 cameras. However, subsequent versions of Capture One failed to provide the necessary corrections in this area. I found partial and not very satisfactory solutions on Tintinet for this issue. Does Lightroom or any other editing program perform better in this specific area? Best wishes from sunny Barcelona. Dragos.
Well, that's a bit odd because, I don't know about Capture One because I don't use it, so I can't really comment. I'd be surprised if they just suddenly stopped doing that. However, there's a couple of things to remember with those teleconverters. In the X100 settings, if you have the version 1 of the teleconverters or wide angle converter, then you need to tell the camera. In the camera, you've got a setting that says, is the TCL attached? And you say yes or no. And that will update the EXIF data to tell the editing software that lens is attached. Without turning that on, the software has no way of knowing.
It does it automatically, though, doesn't it? Does it do it automatically?
Well, if you have that setting turned on.
Yeah.
But the version 2 of those lenses, it automatically tells the camera to turn that setting on and off.
Yeah.
So it could be that. I'd be really surprised if Capture One has just disabled that ability. But then again, Capture One said they would never go to a subscription-based model, and they did. I didn't know because I'm a Lightroom user. I've never used Capture One. I didn't realise they were now subscription. I think we've got time for another one. Before we do that, Kim Cofield is one of our listeners, Kev. Do you know Kim in Australia land? Nope.
Well, she is.
Hello, Kim.
Yep, and I did promise to
Good day, Kim.
Good day, Kim. I did promise to do a shout-out for Kim. Kim has a podcast called The Art Posse. Inspirational art-making interviews with artists, makers, manufacturers and retailers of arts supplies. Produced by Kim Cofield and Marcus Clearspring. There we go. All you need to know, it's on, wherever you get your podcasts. And the reason I'm mentioning it, and it's a little bit self-indulgent, is Kim very kindly interviewed me, little old me, Kev, for the podcast. We're talking about sound and stuff like that. And I said, I really enjoyed it. I don't get to do stuff like that. You've appeared on loads of podcasts. Kev is in demand. I mean, you've been on many podcasts. I don't get to be on many. So we talked all about, we mentioned you as well, Kev. We talked about you. Whew. So there we go. I've mentioned it.
Make sure you send me the link and we'll make sure it's linked in the show notes.
Art Supply Posse, not just Art Posse, Art Supply Posse. Right, yours from Facebook.
Oh, I thought we were done.
No, I said one more. You can't do. What do you want to do? Go back to chess or something?
Yeah, well, I've got a bit of a tricky situation going on.
What's your tricky situation?
Well, it's a guy I'm playing. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a guy.
You're actually playing somebody while we're recording.
Cal Checkwin. He's in.
Where is he?
Singapore. Anyway,
that's amazing, isn't it? Can you? Years and years ago, somebody would have said, "Well, one day, Kev, you go," because I know you've always liked chess. I think you have, haven't you? somebody would have said, Kev, you're going to be playing people in Singapore or Australia.
I love the names people use on their profiles. So I tell you the names of the people I'm playing.
Go on.
Right. I'm playing Paige Grin.
Yeah.
I'm playing George Smiley. I'm playing Kia Toa. I'm playing Das Funtum. I'm playing Cal Chegwin. I'm playing Gorilla Slaps. And I'm playing Metal Hurland.
Gorilla Slaps? Blimey.
Gorilla Slaps. George Smiley. Now, who was he? He was a TV show.
George Smiley wasn't he? George Smiley, the guy that... No. I'll look it up while you read your question. I'll look up George Smiley.
Paul Sillard says, just wondering about selling my X100V. I have also got both the XH2 and the XH2S and a good collection of glass, including many of the small F2 ranges. With the X100V, I have both adapters too. Would you recommend selling the X100V kit to free up some dollars and space and just use the XH2 with the F2 lens for lightweight excursions? Note that I'm fully aware of the special features of the X100V, such as hybrid viewfinder, which he never uses. Fast flash sync. It's not easy for me to say that.
No, I know.
Ultimately, Paul, the answer is: do you use the camera? If you don't use it much, get rid of it. If you find yourself using it, don't. However, I would say that the FujiCast Facebook group, which is a lovely place, is littered, and I mean littered, with posts about people regretting selling their X100s. Yes. So your mileage may vary.
I wouldn't sell it. I was really surprised in the last year. No, in fact, it might have been last year. I don't know. I shot a wedding. In fact, no, it was this year. It was earlier on this year. I shot a wedding using the X100 as one of my main cameras. Absolutely loved it. And I know you're wincing a bit, Kev, because you say, oh, hang on, it's a single card camera. So I was swapping out my cards quite often, but loved it. The experience, the freedom you've got from a camera that size is just immense. And I rarely leave home without it. That sounds like an advert.
I mean, yeah, in Paul's case, there is no comparison between the X100V and the XH2
no,
or 2S.
You can't even
in terms of size.
No,
not about what goes on inside, but size. You're never ever, if you're just deciding to go to the park for an hour or whatever, you're unlikely to go, let me just go and get my XH2 and a lens and all of that kind of stuff. Whereas if your X100V is just by the back door, you're likely to just pick it up and go, aren't you? That's always what I think about those kind of conversations.
Another thing, the built-in ND filter. You won't find that on the on your XH2, will you?
He did mention that in the special features. Hybrid viewfinder, flash fleet
reception,
and the ND.
Oh, did he mention the ND? Oh, I'm sorry.
He did, yeah. Well, I'm not sure I read it out, though, so it wasn't.
Right, that's that.
But he did mention it, yeah.
That's a game changer, the inbuilt ND filter, isn't it? It really is.
Very good.
Yeah. But if you don't use it, you're right. But then again, I didn't use my X100, my original one, anymore, Kev. What did you say to me? I can't believe I sold it. Anyway.
Legacy legend.
Can you hear that in the background? Barnes is shaking himself out, which means he thinks the programme is over.
When you did that, then I automatically put my ear to my microphone.
Did you?
Which is ridiculous. And I realised what I was doing the moment you said, "Can you hear that?" And I put my ear to the microphone.
Oh dear. Right, well, that's it.
I need to get back to Metal Hill.
Yeah, I know that's it for another week. We've got maybe we've got one more before Christmas, possibly two.
Yeah, we will have to have maybe. Oh, we definitely got one, but maybe I don't know. Yeah,
we should do a little Christmas special or something. I don't know. Just
probably be between Christmas and New Year.
It will be.
Anyway, unless we decide to have a break.
Yeah, that's more than likely. And you'll be playing chess anyway, so
yes. So send all your Christmas presents for the show to me at my studio.
It always happens. Whenever we receive anything, you get it, and you say, "One day I'll share this with you," and you never do. But there we go. Thanks very much for your emails. Keep sending them into click@fujicast.co.uk. You did say the Facebook. You were a few messages down, Kev.
Yeah, we seem to be slowing up a little bit, but maybe it's that time of the year.
Yeah,
very cold. If you've got more questions, bang them in there. There are millions that we never got around to answering. I do keep saying I need to sort this all out. it's a tricky thing to figure out.
If you are a patron, then our Patreon pop-up we're gonna talk a little bit about the 2nd of March. So pop on over there and we'll tell you more about it. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks, Kev. Bye!
The FujiCast is an independent loading zone production. Email the show with your questions and words of wisdom to click@fujicast.co.uk. Email any complaints and political nonsense to our wives, who will deal with your comments in their own good time and in their own good way.